My name is Charlie Pulfer. I'm the Vice President of Product Management here at Titus Labs. Welcome to the resource section of our website. Titus Labs document classification and message classification products allow users to classify, protectively mark, and prevent data loss for valuable email and documents. The message classification product is an add-on for Microsoft Outlook versions 2003 and 2007 that allows users to classify emails and allow administrators to build policy which will control email distribution via policies that will check the content of the email or the email recipients. Here's a quick look at the product.
We'll start our demonstration in the message classification for Outlook product. We'll compose a new message to Mike Dean about an upcoming merger announcement. And you'll see when the user goes to send the message, they'll be prompted to classify. So we can force the users to classify their email messages. A classification pop-up message appears. And in this case, a confidential classification will be selected. This opens up an additional drop-down where we can select a sensitivity. We call this feature guided classification because the user is guided through the classification process. All of these labels are completely configurable by the administrator. After clicking OK, the message is sent. Now we'll go have a look at the email we just sent. Message classification adds visual labels to emails, either in the subject line marking or the message body itself, or both. The administrator can configure these markings in a number of different ways. In this example, in a received message, we see the classifications in the first and last line of the message, as well as the subject line. We also have a disclaimer at the bottom of the email, and this can be dynamic depending on the chosen classification. Now we'll look at the visual labels in another email. The email that we'll open is actually a meeting request. Message classification can classify all types of Outlook messages, including meeting requests and tasks. In this case, there's a different disclaimer for public email messages. Administrators can even configure certain classifications to show no visual labels at all, for example, for personal emails. Let's go back and have a look at the original email we sent. You'll remember that it was classified as confidential with a sensitivity of internal use only. In this case, the user will try to forward the message, and they'll try to forward it out of the enterprise, thus perhaps disclosing confidential or secret information. Sometimes this is just an accident on the part of the user, as shown here, where a user could select the wrong email address because Outlook is trying to help them complete the address. When the user clicks send, the message is checked for policy violations. Message classification immediately detects that there are external recipients on this message and provides the user with a warning. The user could let message classification remove the recipients for them automatically, or they could click send anyway if their administrator had given them this option, or they could click return to message, which is what we're doing now. The user is now attempting to change the classification to public so that they can bypass the warning. But built into message classification, we have the ability to either warn users when they are downgrading or prevent them from downgrading the email so that that can't be done. These are only two of the policy checks that message classification can perform. By warning the user before the email is sent, the user can correct the problem immediately and avoid accidentally disclosing sensitive information. The classification labels can also enhance downstream technologies such as data loss prevention solutions, content scanners, and perimeter security solutions. These solutions can take advantage of the metadata that is generated by message classification for each classified email. We'll close this email and return to the inbox. All the classifications that are assigned by users to email can be used to sort and search the Outlook inbox. We can see them in our inbox and then we can click on them just as we can sort by subject or sort by received time or by the from field. We can sort here by classification or sensitivity markings that have been added to the email. We can also search the inbox based on the classifications. This could be used by administrators to search archived email for particular classifications or project markings.
Welcome back. The Titus Labs document classification product is an add-on for Microsoft Word, Excel, and PowerPoint versions 2003 and 2007. The document classification product allows users to classify and protectively mark documents, spreadsheets, and presentations. The product also allows administrators to invoke automatic encryption of documents based on policy. Let's have a quick look at the product.
Here we've switched over to Microsoft Word. We see that the classification task pane is also available to us here in document classification for Word. So the same user interface that's available in message classification is also available in Word as well as Excel and PowerPoint. The user here will be prompted to select some classifications before they can save or print a document. In this case, we're going to select Restricted and Senior Management Restricted. It's the same look and feel as message classification. We'll call this document the Executive Compensation Package document, and when we save this document, you can see that a header, footer, and watermark have been added to the document to indicate the classification sensitivity. Next, I'll show you another feature where message classification and document classification work together. So we'll go back to the Outlook inbox. We'll compose an email to Mike about executive compensation, and what we're going to do is we're going to attach the document that we just created. We'll insert that as an attachment to this email in just a second, and you'll see that the user does that normally, just like inserting any other attachment. They'll insert the document that has just been classified, the executive compensation document. So we'll select that here and we'll send it off. Before we do that, we'll select the classification of the email itself. So we'll select a classification of public, for instance. When we go to send this message off, we'll get a warning, an attachment warning, that basically tells us that the attachment has a higher level of classification than the message classification we've selected. So we have an option of going back and changing the classification of the message, or we can click Upgrade Message and let message classification do that for us, which is what we're going to do now. Message classification automatically upgrades the message to restricted, and then we're prompted to fill in the sensitivity, and we click OK and the message is sent. Now if we switch over to see what the received message looks like, you can see that message classification has automatically added the proper classification. In addition, it's included visual labels to show the attached document's classification. This is how message classification and document classification are integrated.
If you want more information on the message classification or document classification products, you can click on one of the more detailed videos in the resource section of our website, or you can click on the Book a Live Meeting Demo button to request a live demo from one of our security and compliance experts. Thank you.